All right. How you all doing today? It is Gordon Xavier here to support you in your evolutionary journey. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you a wonderful grounding routine that has supported me in easing my nervous system and mind when I feel anxious or out of my center. It supported me in creating mental clarity and sharpness so that I may be effective in my creative endeavors. And I want to pass it along. So I'm going to take a deep breath here. Welcome. And let's begin. The first technique I'm going to share with you is a technique my good buddy's son showed me the other day. And it's a technique just to get energies flowing. And so what you see here is I have my hands cupped. I'm getting nice and tall, getting nice and situated, straight spined, and I'm imagining I have 2 cups of tea in my hand. And I'm endeavoring to keep these cups of tea from spilling. And so I'm going to move intuitively. You can't see my legs, but my legs are moving uniquely as well. And I'm endeavoring to move intuitively and allow my chi to flow and sync with my breath while engaging in unique movements that stretch me and challenge me. It kind of reminds me of Tai Chi. You hear I'm breathing as I'm keeping these teacups balanced. And I'm allowing the energy to do what it wants to do. This is a very watery kind of exercise, so it's appropriate to be doing this in the rain. Really appreciate these rain sounds. You'll feel a good stretch in your spine and in your shoulders and in your arms and your back. See, my back is really engaged right there. And I'm looking to, now I brought my leg up. You can balance one leg at a time if you want. You can even imagine there's a tea cup on your foot. A balanced body leads to a balanced mind. And as you can see, I still have some balancing to do. Oh no, the tea! I dropped it! I'm just kidding. So now here's the next portion. Next portion here, we're gonna shake, right? The thing about the ego is it cannot exist in a state of chaos, right? Shaking supports you in releasing neurotic holding patterns. You're just shaking it all off. It's very freeing. You did a lot when you were a child, right? And we're going back to that as adults. Go back to that as adult. Allow your body to be mobile and loose and shake. Next, I'm going to show you something called the bow. Right, this is a wonderful exercise to support you in opening up your belly so that you may breathe deeper. You stretch out that lower abdomen. You really want to meet yourself where you're at during this exercise. You don't want to bend too much to the point where you're hurting your spine. As you can see here, I'm taking my hands and balling them into a fist and placing them in my lower back. And while doing it, you're going to pinch your elbows together. This is a great idea to stretch your face, stretch your mouth, stretch your eyes wide open. And what you'll notice is your esophagus begins to stretch. This will open your throat chakra. I'm breathing deeply through my mouth into my belly and allowing those muscles that are in my abdomen to release and to stretch. And what this does is it helps me breathe deeper, easier, more unconsciously. After doing this exercise, I'll breathe deeper without trying. Now, for the second variation of this technique, we're going to open the hands up wide, place them behind the head. You're going to lean your hips forward, open your chest up. You really want to open your chest up. You want to imagine that there's a straight line going between elbow to elbow. And you're going to lean back the same way you did in the beginning. Open your chest up, open your mouth up wide, really stretch your face, and breathe. And this is going to support you in releasing tension around your heart and your belly, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, your heart. And you're going to breathe into this. You may feel vibration. You may have to release some noise. Maybe there's some pent-up emotion in that area. Like you hear me doing, you'll release some energy. You can release energy audibly. And this is going to support you in breathing more deeply, releasing tension so your attention may flow. And you'll experience, after doing this, greater clarity in your mind. One thing about tension in our body is pockets of trapped, stagnant attention. Our nervous system, our bodies are like memory cards. And when there is unexpressed emotion or unprocessed pain, unprocessed stress, the body stores it in the muscular system. And it's important that we take time out to discharge. The third variation, you're going to take your arms and stretch them out overhead like you're doing a handstand. This is going to be the most challenging of the three. I'm going to breathe into that. You may notice a lot of tension being released in your chest and in your belly, in your shoulders and your throat. You can see with the wide mouth as well, this wide mouth really opens up the throat chakra because the throat, the esophagus is stretched wide open. Right? Any tension in the esophagus leads to a restricted voice, a inhibited voice, and our voices are very powerful. So we want our voices to carry the energy of our heart and our solar plexus and our sacral chakra, and our root. And so this technique, this stretching, supports that. As you can see, I had to let out a good sigh of relief right there. At this stage of all these bows, my breath is by default deeper. And when the breath is deep, the energy body, our emotional body, our nervous system naturally is more relaxed and balanced. So now I'm moving, like I said earlier, a balanced body typically leads to a balanced mind. So you can see I'm moving to this next movement. I'm beginning to activate the lower portion of my body. So I'm doing a bit of balancing here, and I'm doing some extension in my legs and my quadriceps. It's tough. And as you do that, you may notice a large amount of burning in your quadriceps and your hamstrings. And this is great. This is really releasing. A lot of people store a lot of emotion in their quadriceps and hamstrings. So as you do this right here, you're going to be releasing a lot of energy. And you know that's happening because you can see my legs shaking. We're releasing, typically, in our legs, we store insecurity, stress, pain. We may store feelings of not being safe in our legs. That's where our root is. And so these exercises right here are a great help to finding balance and safety and security again in our legs and in our consciousness. This final variation right here, this exercise here, is, you see I'm going into a squatting position. This is a very primitive human position that, in my opinion, everybody should be able to do well. This is like, it's really good for our spines. It's good for our hips. And when we can find alignment in this position, it has a major impact on our consciousness. Biology affects consciousness, and consciousness affects biology. So they work together. As you can see now I'm placing my hands flat on the ground, and I'm extending my legs. This right here will ignite your legs. You will feel the fire from the gods activated within your legs, burning away tension. It's burning away and releasing stagnant tension. And after doing a couple of sets of this, of 8 to 10 reps, you'll feel your legs are much more engaged in the moment with you. You'll feel your legs are much more present. You can see and also take notice of the camera shaking, right? Like, that's how much it's being released in my legs, where it has the entire port shaking. Give it a try, and you'll see a major release. So for this final portion, man, that rain is really coming down out there. It's beautiful. For this final exercise, I'm going to go out in the grass barefoot and do something called the ground pounce. And this is a very primal movement. You want to keep a strong, straight spine, relax while simultaneously relaxing your body, and pounce your heels on the ground. You can see a shock wave going through my body. I'm giving all of my spinal tension, all of my leg tension to the earth. This may remind you of like tribal activity, tribal movement, and from African tribes or indigenous tribes, all standing around the fire going, "Hey, hey, 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 hey." This really connects us to Mother Earth, to Gaia. And Mother Earth, Gaia, is solid, still, and stable. And we can borrow that energy. We can sync up with that energy, and that exercise really supports in doing that. So this has been 13 minutes of grounding. I pray that these techniques serve you on the highest level. If you found value in this video, if you found value in this, be sure to give this a like, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Share your thoughts. I'm sure you enjoyed the ridiculousness of my shaking. Try that out, and share what that does for you. Be careful with it. Like, definitely meet yourself where you're at physically, but try it out and express what comes up for you. It has been fun. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Much love.